After graduating from college years ago, I took on a full-time sales position. This is quite a while back, okay? I had an accounting degree, spent 17 years, 5 years in college getting this degree, and didn't pursue the accounting degree, kind of glad I didn't, end up in a sales position. Well, I get in this sales position, they have all this nomenclature meaning words, the words of a trade. And I first heard this term, close the deal. At that time, I didn't know anything about selling, knew even less about negotiating, and knew almost nothing about closing the deal. You know, it's interesting, regardless of what, college or university you go to, even the best in the country, they don't teach these types of skills there. They don't teach selling, negotiating, and closing in the real world. Even where I had taken a job selling, even in that environment, no one actually suggested that there were strategies or processes or, specific ways to get a deal closed. They just talked about, okay, you got to close the deal now. And all I knew was the close was where I got the reward. That's where I got the bone. It was pointed out to me that this thing called closing the deal was an actual step to be done at the end of the sales process. Some people were saying you do it all the time, rather than something that just happened as a result of selling. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't know there was I sell, then I negotiate, and then I close. I didn't understand that. Everything was just mush to me. So what I did was I started listening to others. Oh, wow, there's a separation. One, I'm presenting the product, and then I'm building value, and then I'm actually building rapport earlier than that, and then I'm bringing them in, and then I'm talking about the prices and presenting my proposal. So I start listening to others because that's what they had to learn from. I mean, they didn't have anything like what you're looking at to learn from. So I start listening to others around me. I assumed, they've been around for a while. Some guy had been there 6 weeks. Some guy had been there 13 years. Oh, they know what they're talking about. They appear to know what they were doing. They certainly knew 1,000 times more than I knew. A word of advice. Just because they've been around for a little while, don't assume they know much about selling. Even if it's 100 times more than you, they actually might know 100 things, 98 which are completely incorrect. But they knew more than me. So that was my source, okay? Most of these people knew nothing in retrospect, looking back. Most of them knew nothing about selling, nothing about prospecting, nothing about truly building value, and even less about negotiating and closing the deal, even though they thought they did. The truth today I know is this. Most salespeople, even extremely seasoned professional salespeople that have been around a long time, have not a clue about the area of negotiating and closing. It's not surprising because most have never invested real-time energy and effort in learning the exact skills. Look, if you want to learn to become a master, I don't mean a painter on the weekends, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean a master at the art of closing, not some guy that takes this as like a hobby, but some guy that wants to completely control his environment or her environment and know, K-N-O-W, exactly what's happening. There's only two ways to learn, okay? The first is from experience. Now, learning from experience is what these people, when I got in sales, were trying to do. This is the most costly way to learn. A guy spends 13 years in a trade. He collects 13 years of losses, failures, successes. Typically in sales, your failures are going to be probably more than your successes. And then you start making up all these ideas about what it was. Okay? You learn from experience. Now, the other way is to create an experience and learn from that. You would use drills. You would actually drill things, drill the responses, prepare scripts. You'd create an experience. You'd practice, drill, and rehearse this experience or situation. You'd actually create objections and handle them. And you'd actually set up closing situations and practice closing the deal. Two ways to learn, from experience or create an experience. Okay, two ways to have a car wreck. Cause one or be hit by a car. Okay, I'll tell you what, I know most of you are like, I didn't do it. Hey, I want to do it. I would rather do it than have it done to me. Okay? Don't brag when you say, I didn't cause this accident. Oh no, you're just a victim. You're the effective one. It's better for you to run the light and admit it. Hey, I ran the light. I was going too fast. I'm sorry I did that. Let me pay the ticket. Okay, at least you caused something to happen. Now, I'm taking this kind of out of context and kind of going crazy with it, but you understand what I'm saying? Experience, learn from the experience, have something happen to you, or create something and have something happen and learn from the experience you create. So 2 ways to learn. Experience it, have an experience, somebody hits you, okay? Or you create the experience, all right? So we're gonna set up different experiences for you. Different situations are gonna be set up. You have to do this. I want you to partner up with somebody in your company and start role-playing. It could be a kid, it could be your kid, it could be your wife, it could be your husband. It could be somebody preferably that you work with that's as committed as you are, where you're gonna set up different situations from your objections notebook we talked about in the fundamentals of selling, where you write down, okay, this is what's happening to me. At the end of every deal, you're gonna write down exactly what the customer said, exactly why it didn't close, exactly the problem, all the objections, the stalls, etc. Write them down, and you're gonna use that. Pick some time each day, daily role play these scenarios out, okay, with another person. I would strongly encourage you to video these interactions. You're gonna see yourself. You're gonna see yourself exchanging with another. I would put these on audio, literally record these on audio if you don't wanna use video. I mean, video is so cheap today. There's no reason why you wouldn't video it and look at it. Hey man, what do I look like? How am I saying this? Am I agreeing with people? Am I stumbling? Am I running out of solutions? Am I smiling? Look, flunk yourself on anything, anytime you don't smile, don't agree, stumble, you run out of a solution or you don't close, you're flunked. Hey man, it's a flunk. I'm role playing with another guy, he's across from me. I said, look, the price is too high. He's like, flunk. Let's do it again. The price is too high. Flunk. Man, look, in the real world, you get flunked. No money, no exchange. You go home tonight. Kids say, did you sell a car today? No, son, I didn't. Flunk. So you want to role play this. Be tough on each other, okay? Now, when you win, when you get through it, because you'll learn it, hey, Grant, the price is too high. I understand, sir. Everybody that sat in that chair has said exactly the same thing. Let me suggest that we look at this, or this as a solution. See? That's what you want to sound like, okay? That's one close. You need lots of closes, lots of material. 2 ways to learn. What are they? If you forgot them already, go back and watch this, okay? I'm going to give you a little sneak on it. 2 ways to learn. You either have experiences for the next 10, 15, 20 years or your whole lifetime. I know people that are 90 years old that oh, I have wisdom now. Yeah, I know, but you were an idiot for 89 years, pal, making the same mistakes over and over, finally to reach your 90th birthday and say, oh, I'm enlightened at the age of 90. You need to get enlightened now. You know how you do that? Learn from creating experiences for yourself, okay? Take the material in this segment. Create experiences for yourself. Yes, it takes time, it takes discipline, it takes initiative, and you need a partner. And video yourself and learn how to close your customer.